So I'm going to call today's meeting of the CDC to order. Thank you everyone for being here in person. Under the authority of the County Board rules, I appoint Member Childress to serve as a temporary member of this committee to establish quorum. Thank you very much for being here, Member Childress. Thank you. Okay, roll call, please.
Chairman Plant,
Here.
Member Schwartzy,
Here.
Member Barfus, here. Member Bastian,
Here.
Member Brett,
Thank you.
Member Cahill,
Here.
Member Crandall, Member Flint,
Here.
Member Header, here. Member Hennepin, Member Honig,
Here.
Member Krajewski,
Okay, thank you
And
so
Member
much.
Childress.
and Member Childress.
Here.
Wonderful, thank you. And I'm, a physical quorum of the members is physically present. I will entertain a motion to permit those members not physically present due to personal illness or disability, employment purposes for the business of the board, or family or other emergency or unexpected childcare obligations to participate by video or teleconference. Do I have a motion? Thank you. And a second. Thank you. I would like to welcome members Cahill and Honig. Would also like to say that if you are, Member Cahill told me that she was going, yes? Oh, can we please have a vote on the motion? Roll call, please.
Roll call.
Yes, thank you.
I think it's a voice vote, right?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No, okay, welcome members. I would like to just make sure that in the future, if there's any committee members that are, you have to let us know of your plans that you're going to be zooming in. Member Cahill did let me know ahead of time. Member Honig, please let me know ahead of time because with the exception of Member Childress filling in, we wouldn't have had quorum and that would have really been a problem for some of these important votes. Thank you. Do we have any public comment today? Okay, thank you. So I move to approve the minutes from our last meeting, which was on July 1st, 2025. Item 4A 25-2880 Home Advisory Group regular meeting minutes. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Who was the seconder?
Yes. That motion passes. Thank you. Now moving on to item 5A 25-2881. Recommendation for approval of the amended Notice of Occupancy Rights under the Violence Against Women Act, which is also called VAWA policy. Yes, which is a cheerier acronym than this subject deserves.
Yes.
Yes. And we are going to have a description and a walkthrough conversation about this.
Sure. So can we get a motion and a second before we have discussion?
Thank you. So I moved and there was a second.
Okay.
Yes, yes, thank you.
So the last time that we had made an amendment to the policy, we were waiting on HUD to update some forms that correspond to our VAWA policy. They have since updated those forms, so this policy incorporates those updated forms and strengthens our policy in regards to notification requirements. And then the biggest aspect is that our emergency transfer plan has been rewritten to align with that new HUD format. So yeah, that's the update.
Does anyone have any questions about this?
I'll just say the basics of this are that all tenants have to be informed of their rights under this particular act. Those rights are afforded anyone, but our federal funding specifically requires a notification of those rights.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. Any further discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Member Barfus. Member Bastian,
Aye.
Member Cahill,
Aye.
Member Flint,
Yes.
Member Honig,
Aye.
Member Header. Yes. Member Schwartzy,
Aye.
Member Childress,
Yes.
Chair LaPlante.
Aye. Thank you. That motion passes. Moving on to item 5B, 25-2882, recommendation for approval of a conditional commitment of Home Investment Partnerships Act funds with Catholic Charities, Diocese of Joliet, project number HM 25-02A, tenant-based rental assistance, and the amount of $204,000.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. And does anyone have any questions about this? No? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion also passes. Item 5C, 25-2883, recommendation for approval of a conditional commitment of Home Investment Partnerships Act funds with DuPage pads, project number HM 25-OT02V, tenant-based rental assistance in the amount of $139,000. We have a motion and a second. Does anyone have any questions or any discussion on this? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. And moving on to item 5D, 25-2884, recommendation for approval of fiscal year 2026 Community Development Block Grant, Emergency Solutions Grant, and Home Investment Partnerships Act application funding recommendations. Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Discussion on this?
I'll kick off and then I'll turn it over to Julie.
Plenty.
But so this is our plan for what we will, what we're recommending for the 2026 CDBG and ESG funding. As you know, Congress has not yet voted on the 2026 budget. The markups for CDBG are that the House has recommended level funding. The Senate has recommended about a 7% cut, so it's from 3.3 billion down to 3.1. So we're planning, this is based on a level funding planning assumption. Obviously, if that changes, there is contingency plans built into the plan, so Julie can mention those as well. But so this is what we hope to do in 2026, assuming that we get level funding. Take it away, Julie.
All right, so our team is working on our 2026 annual action plan that's required to receive CDBG, home, and ESG funding. And if these recommendations are approved, they will be incorporated into that plan. And at the end of the memo, it outlines the next steps in that process. So this is a big piece of our annual action plan, is preparing for what projects we anticipate funding in 2026. So we had already asked for applications for CDBG public service as well as ESG and CDBG neighborhood investment projects back at the end of 2024, and we asked for years 25 and 26 funding. Public service and ESG were recommending the same funding moving from 25 to 2026. So there were 5 applicants for the CDBG public service, of which 1 wasn't originally recommended because they didn't meet the minimum ask threshold. And then Catholic Charities had asked at a later time to merge 2 of their applications together. So technically there will be 3 applications that we recommend move forward for public service in 2026. And then for ESG, like I said, it's the same. Street outreach we're funding, emergency shelter we're funding, and then HMIS we're funding through the ESG program. So the biggest piece that's unique for this 2026 year is that we went out for an ask for capital improvement projects or public facility improvement projects, which target nonprofit owned and operated public facilities that serve low to moderate income individuals or those eligible under CDBG regulations. We received a total of 4 applications for this round, 3 of which were recommending funding for 2026. The one that we are not recommending funding for is because they don't currently own or operate that public facility. So we are unable to invest in the rehabilitation ask that they had included in their application. So because we only received 4 and we're only funding 3, that leaves us some room for neighborhood investment applications. So what we did is we went back and looked at the applications that we received for both 25 and 2026 program years. We had originally earmarked 1 project in Bensonville to move forward in 2026. So that remains as a project that we recommend for this 2026 program year. And we still had some funding available to support other neighborhood investment projects. So we went with the highest scoring applications that came in for that 2026 program year. We did outreach to all of our neighborhood investment municipal partners to make sure that the projects were still viable and ready to move forward should funding become available. And that led us to also recommend the Village of Glendale Heights, the Village of Addison, and another Village of Bensonville project, all of which of those three were technically B-list projects that we were anticipating moving forward if we had funding come in over what we anticipated from HUD, or if projects weren't able to move forward from our 2025 program year. I think that is it for our projects.
Thank you, Julie.
Yeah.
I would like to thank Julie and Mary and the rest of their staff, because not only are they coming up with plans to move forward, they're coming up with backup plans, and their backup plans have backup plans. So, thank you very much for doing that.
I should probably share our backup plan.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So as Mary indicated, this is based on level funding from our 2025 program year, of which we do not know if we will receive that level funding. So should funding come in under, we will have to make sure that we reduce our admin and public service projects to stay within the regulatory caps. The same thing would happen for emergency shelter grant. There's a admin cap, and then there's also a cap on street outreach and emergency shelter. So we would reduce projects to make sure we're within those. And then we would also we would then, if there's additional CDBG, sorry, let me start over. If CDBG was also needed to be reduced further outside of public service and administrative caps, then we would have to start reducing projects. So we would start with the lowest scoring neighborhood investment project, and then the lowest scoring capital improvement project, and hope to alternate the best we could. That's of course depending on how much they cut and what we need to do to kind of balance out that budget. And then there is reference to the Home Investment Partnerships Program within these recommendations. However, it's just an earmark for potential projects that will move forward in the future. For example, those tenant-based rental assistance agenda items that just came forth, those were earmarked in our 2025 annual action plan, but the agencies weren't ready for that funding until right now. So we accept applications, do additional underwriting, evaluation, vetting of each home project, and then we bring those forth to this committee individually to make sure that we can enter into an agreement.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this? On our plans and our backup plans?
Is $600,000 like a standard ask or a maximum or something for neighborhood
Yeah.
investment? Okay.
It's the maximum request.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, it's not just coincidence.
Yeah.
To that point, the Bensonville B list that's recommended, we did not have enough funding to meet their $600,000 ask. So our recommendation is slightly under that at $515,570.
Okay.
So that's a good point, and I should have mentioned that as well.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion on this item? Okay.
I will throw just one wrinkle in. So there's been discussion, and I believe it's actually been issued from HUD, is that individuals who are beneficiaries of HUD-funded programs will need to be verified that they have they have appropriate immigration status. Prior to this year, that the nonprofits were exempt from having to verify status. Now we've been told that even though the nonprofits aren't doing it, we're still on the hook for it. And so we're going to have to work out how that will work with some of the nonprofits, whether that's, just from an administrative standpoint, how exactly that'll have to be operationalized. It's possible that some agencies might not be interested in the funding anymore, but that remains to be seen. So there's still, I believe that one might be subject. I know they're making significant changes to the continuum of care programs, and there's now 19 states have joined a lawsuit against HUD for changing these regulations that do not match, they claim do not match congressional intent. I don't know if this new regulation is also subject of lawsuits, but there's just so many things up in the air right now that we'll have to see where it all goes.
Yes, thank you. Member Shorzy.
So what does that mean? These organizations cannot serve any immigrants undocumented immigrants? What does that mean? Do we know what that means?
We don't know what that.
Okay.
And the meaning may change depending on the day of the week.
HUD has said that they'll be issuing additional guidance, but that has yet to come.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on this item? I think that's it. Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? That motion passes. Any other business that anyone wants to bring up? If not, then I adjourn this meeting until the next meeting, January 6th, 2026. And we move to our next meeting. The CDC Executive Committee meeting. I call this meeting to order. And please, roll call, please.
Chair LaPlante,
Here.
Member Shorzy,
Here.
Member Childress,
Yes.
Member Bastian,
Here.
Member Briggs, Member Cahill,
Here.
Member Crandall, Member Flint,
Here.
Member Heather,
Here.
Member Henderson, Member Honig,
Here.
Member Krajewski.
Okay, also, again, for this meeting, under the authority of County Board rules, I appoint Member Childress to serve as a temporary member of this committee to establish quorum. Thank you, Member Childress, for joining us. We appreciate it. Do we have any public comments?
We also need to.
Sorry. I have to re-let you guys in.
Sorry.
No problem. A physical quorum of the members is physically present. I will entertain a motion to permit those members not physically present to participate by video or teleconference.
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, welcome members Cahill and Honig.
Thank you, Member LaPlante.
Do we have any public comment? No. Thank you very much. I move to approve our minutes from last regular meeting, Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025, item 25-2886. Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Item number 5, 2026 CDBG ESG scoring appeals.
None that I'm aware of.
None that you're aware of. Okay, wonderful. Okay, we'll skip over that and go to number 6. Item 25-2887, recommendation for approval of fiscal year 2026 Community Development Block Grant, Emergency Solutions Grant, and Home Investment Partnerships Act application funding recommendations.
Ditto, the last one.
Just a reminder of why we have to do this twice. So our home advisory group includes the city of Naperville. And so that has to be a separate organization from the Community Development Commission Executive Committee, which does not include Naperville. And so because all three, home and CDBG and ESG are all in the action plan, both groups have to approve it.
So it's deja vu all over
All over
again.
again.
Yes, we will not make you repeat everything that you said. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or any further discussion? Seeing none, this motion has passed.
Who was the second?
Reading.
Oh, did Member Schwarzy not? Okay, we have a motion. Can you second? Someone second?
I thought my second.
Oh, did you second it already, Michael? Member Childress has seconded it. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Any other business, old or new? Yes.
Yes, so Glendale Heights is sincerely appreciative of all the grants we've received, and this is in no way take away from any of that. But over the last couple of years in the CDBG grants, we've had a lot of bureaucracy put into the paperwork side of that. And I'm trying to get a understanding from my engineers and my other staff, and then the contractors, on the need for much of the bureaucracy that's come into the paperwork side of this, such as payroll receipts, the county not working directly with the contractors who've been awarded the grants, making our people be in the middle of it all, costing literally tens of thousands of dollars in our engineering fees because our engineers are dealing with the contractors. So I don't know if this is a county thing or if it's a HUD thing or where all this bureaucracy has come in, because we're getting a lot of pushback from our contractors on the need for all this paperwork, like especially certified payrolls from other projects that they've been doing. That was a request for our last water main project. So I'm just trying to find the answer so I can explain to other people why the need for this bureaucracy.
Yeah, I can certainly speak to that. We are required to follow Davis-Bacon and related act requirements, which is the certified payroll that gets triggered with every neighborhood investment project we do.
So that's a federal.
What was the?
Davis-Bacon and related acts.
Okay.
So I
federal
guess let me
requirement.
start with the agreement. So we, as the staff of the Community Development Commission, when we award an agreement, it's with the municipality directly. So that's who we have to hold accountable to those requirements that are outlined in the agreement, which
I get that.
includes a lot of like the regulatory things like Davis-Bacon, Section 3, waivers, whatever it is that we're holding the municipality accountable to. So then when the municipality goes out and bids, you enter into a contract with the general contractor. We don't have any legal recourse with them at all because that agreement is directly between you as the municipality and then the general contractor that was awarded that competitive bid. So that's the reason we don't have direct communication with contractors. And it's also super important that the municipality is aware of what's going on at any given moment of the project, with our direct communications with the municipality. And then we also do extend that communication to any consultant that you may be working with that has been assigned to that project. We have that with multiple municipalities where there's a consultant involved as well. So regarding the payrolls, that's a federal requirement. There's no way around it. We have to have certified payrolls. We have to review them. We have to make sure that they're getting paid at least the wage that's in effect at the time that that contract was awarded. Every contractor who is part of this project, there's a requirement that our federal requirements packet that's in the bid manual is incorporated into each of those subcontracts. So everyone knows from the jump when they submit a bid what the requirements are, and there's a lot. We totally understand it is intense, but we're required to make sure that we're administering the project appropriately because HUD will come out and give us findings for anything that we're not doing correctly. So unfortunately, that kind of trickles down to the municipality, and then of course the municipality then passes that requirement on to the general contractor, and then the general contractor passes that on to all the subcontractors. So that's kind of the payroll and then the agreement.
Okay, I
aspect.
understand all that. I don't quite get the need for payroll from past projects.
I'm not sure what you're referring to on that.
The last water main project we did, and thank you again, but we made the contractor go back and submit payrolls from other government projects they did in the past. So.
We don't.
The only thing I can, sorry to jump, but the only thing I can think is, we did not need payrolls. So some of the deductions that come out, so part of Davis-Bacon, we have to double check the deductions to make sure, everything that is being taken out as part of the union or been authorized by the employee. It's an anti-kickback. Some of the union deductions are based on if it's straight time, overtime, double time. So for projects that we're trying to verify union deductions on, we don't need the payrolls from other projects. We need the total hours because we need to be able to say this person worked 40 hours of straight time, 5 hours of overtime, 10 hours of double time, and that affects the deductions. So we don't need the actual payrolls from other projects.
Okay.
We're not concerned what they were paid for other projects. We just need clarification on total hours worked to verify deductions for the week.
And that should be on the certified payroll itself. So that's.
But when it comes to deductions, right, the contractor came back to us and went, listen, I have employees who are paying childcare, they're paying
Yep, child support.
divorce,
hours,
child
yeah,
support.
court ordered.
You
Yeah.
need all that information
We
too?
do. So it can be redacted. We just need to know what the dollar amount is, and we need to know that it's for that employee. So we need the employee's name, the dollar amount.
Okay.
All of this is also disclosed when we have our pre-construction meetings with everyone. This is
I know, we're
also.
dealing with contractors who aren't really good at paperwork.
100%, we totally get that, and that's what we are also doing on the back end, right? Like, we're trying to make sure that we can get everything up front. That's why a lot of our agreement language states we need payrolls monthly, because as soon as a contractor's done, they're done, right? They don't want to give you anything. They did their work. They're there to do the work and get the job done. Well, we unfortunately have to collect all the paperwork for that work that they did, and we have to keep that for the federal government.
So is there a way to extend the 12-month time frame that all these projects have to be done within? So that, because right now, if we weren't ready to go on a certain project and we have to engineer a project we got a grant awarded for, and then if we're not in, say we're in August and we get awarded a project, well, we're not gonna dig a water main in December and January and February. And then by the time the project gets done and all the paperwork's done, we're at that crunch 12-month time frame. Is there a way is that 12-month time frame? Can that be 18 months at some point or 15 months?
So there's an allowability in our written agreement to extend an agreement, but the extension has to be for unforeseen circumstances, right? Like, there has to be a viable need to extend it, and it can't be because we didn't have paperwork collected as we should have, right? So that's the kicker is well, I would say never release money until you have our paperwork, right? As a municipality, like, that's the number one kind of thing that we say in our meetings.
Yeah, our attorneys also tell us that we have to pay them when they submit their bills because they get a right to get paid as well, right? I understand all this, right? And I'm just trying to get answers so I can relay it back to my staff who's asking me why all the need for, because it wasn't the need for this 3 years ago, or we didn't do all this paperwork that.
It was, it
Yeah.
was.
According to my engineers, like, this is all like new stuff for them.
So Buy America, Build America is new. Section 3 regulations changed, so that had to be beefed up. So as far as documentation, so there's things in the regulations that change, but we incorporate those changes as we have to make sure that we're following
Right.
the federal requirements, and all of that is disclosed at our meetings as well. So when we sit down with municipal partners and their consultants, everyone's invited who's going to be a part of the job. Pre-construction, we strongly encourage subrecipients, general contractor, everyone who's going to be part of it, because it's a lot of work, right? Like, it is a huge, important investment into each community, and we love doing it, but it's a lot of paperwork, and we would not enforce or implement anything to make your job more difficult, because then that makes our job more difficult, right? So we're only following the
Well,
federal requirements.
I understand, I get all that, because I told them they wouldn't be asking for all this stuff if it wasn't required, because nobody wants to sift through all this paperwork.
Correct.
That's right.
110%.
I understand all that. I'm just trying to get answers so that I can tell them,
Yeah.
here's the reasons.
It's from above,
Okay,
up the food chain.
fair enough.
And we also have sat down with members of your municipal team that are managing the projects, as well as your consultant. Like, we're happy to have those conversations, and we do frequently.
No, my engineers are talking to you guys all the
Right.
time, because we just had one extension, so.
So, yeah, like, we're happy to do that. But unfortunately, we can't remove a requirement. That's a requirement, right?
Right.
And we're just doing our
I
job.
understand.
So that you're also covered. Remember that, right? Because you have to keep the same documentation that we do.
Yeah.
So if we're making sure it's good, then you're good too.
Nobody wants to sift through all this paperwork unless it's required.
Correct.
I get it.
Yes, but that is our job, right? You guys get the project done and we get the paperwork done.
And we
Appreciate
are
that.
so grateful for your subject matter expertise, for real, for real. Thank you, thank you, thank you, because this is holy moly, to untangle these kinds of weeds. This is a lot, so thank you, and thank you for that explanation.
Our pleasure.
Any other business to discuss? Okay, seeing none, then this meeting is adjourned till our next meeting, January 6th, 2026. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.